This is LeetCode 525, contiguous array. Here's the question here, and here's an example input. So the key to solving this question is basically you need to count the number of zeros required for every prefix. So you would count the number of zeros required here, then here, and so on until you loop through the whole array. You keep track of these numbers in a map, and basically every time you see a matching number, you're going to subtract the two lengths in order to get a subarray that you can use as one of your answers. So I'm going to keep track of the number of zeros required. So let's say zeros required, and I'm just going to count. So this would be -1 because this prefix has 1 0 and 0 1s. So we actually need to remove a 0. Here we have 1 1 and 1 0. So we write 0 in this prefix. Then we have another 0, so -1, -2, -1, 0, and -1 here. So there are two things you need to consider. One is every time there's a 0, you can basically just make a subarray like this, and that would be an answer. So this would be an answer as well. If you can see 3 1s, 3 0s, the number of zeros required is 0. But to make a subarray, you would just figure out, we have a -1 here, we have a -1 here. So we can make a subarray from here to here. So right before the number to the number itself. So here we have 3 1s and 3 0s, and basically it just works like that. So the best way to keep track of this is using a hash map. You just store all of these numbers in a hash map. And if you notice, even though we can make arrays like this and this, these are all -1s, so they would work with this -1. But since this one is the furthest to the left, you'll get the longest answer like so. And since we're keeping track of the maximum length, actually, you don't need to insert these into a map because this one is already in it. So yeah, that's basically it. Keep a hash map, use a variation of a prefix sum, and count either the zeros required or the ones required, and then keep track of a max length as you're looping through. And yeah, that's about it.